They'll be calling you a radical. We're going to talk a lot about the salmon collapse, the epic salmon collapse, the Great Pacific Genocide, these killers, you denial, you sheep, you fainting goats have been herded into a fucking fearmonger, you're afraid of everything that you shouldn't be afraid of. These fucking murderers right here is who's going to kill you. They're murderers. By the way, do I have timing to have a brand new, this is a big conglomerate, have a brand new in Utah ER heart trauma advertising campaign going. You can't make it up. Come to the ER heart thing. Now, anybody who's watching, no, I went in there twice, bleeding profusely, my teeth gone, whatever. They told me to go see my dentist, and I collapsed. Almost died. McKay diagnosed me in less than 2 minutes. I had open heart surgery. Aortic valve had failed. They said it could have been replaced. These scumbags here, they tried to murder me. A doctor named Hawkins, who's not even a doctor. So they got a big multi-million-dollar advertising campaign going on come to our ER, our heart specialist. Can't make this shit up. So we're gonna talk salmon numbers. So we're going to talk the collapse. I mean, and it's epic. We got a lot to put in this video, a lot to fit in. Don't step on that. So, I got a lot to show you, a lot to do in this video, a lot to talk about. So, first I got to show you this. This was a gift given to me at the Enola Gay Hangar event. How cool is this? By the people of Japan. And I want to first say this. Weber State History Department, University of Utah History Department, Utah State, BYU History Department, all these academia professors, these so-called, there's some writers who think they're fucking nuclearism writers, chemistry professors, fucking environmentalist professors, economic, none of them showed up to the biggest fucking event as far as environmentalism and the nuclear thesis in Utah, the Enola Gay Hangar. They didn't show up. And I want to say this about the media here, the scumbag media. And if you don't believe me, here comes the lightning. Hill Air Force Base right there. By the way, one of the F-35s is out there. But so, KSL ran a piece and advertised this event. This is going to come. This is one of the only ones, one of the last ones she did. I mean, one of the most important events in Utah history. So it just shows, who is the media in Utah? They reported it was going to happen, yet they didn't show up. Now, I thought media reported events, they didn't spin dogma, you know, politically. KSL didn't come. No, you can't say they didn't know. They ran a piece about it. They didn't go. Deseret News didn't go. Salt Lake Tribune didn't go. Standard Examiner didn't go. None of them went. So what does that say about media? KSL is owned by the Mormon Church. Who are the Mormon Church? Ha! We know who they are. They're the fucking military industrialized fucking kill you hater complex. Up is down, black is white, fucking green is fucking dead, Jill Stein, Putin fucking bank account, Swiss red. So, gotta be careful with that. So, this is the new Big Sur right here. This is the new Big Sur. The new Big Sur is here in the desert of Utah. We go whale watching here. We go fucking salmon fishing here. Lots of salmon fishing here. Lots of salmon fishing. So, let's talk salmon numbers and the catastrophe. So all these idiots are fucking gung-ho and say, oh, they had record fucking numbers in the fucking Bristol Bay and the News Shack. Fucking sockeye. 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 Compare a Chinook to a sockeye like comparing me to these other fucking, like a Bugatti to a fucking Pinot. I'll post it. I posted them all on Facebook, all the pictures, all the numbers, all the graphs. The Chinook in Bristol Bay are an epic collapse. All the way from the copper, epic. Of course you're gonna get a surgeon fucking sockeye. Who the fuck wants to eat a sockeye? What the fuck? I mean, it's like pond scum moving in and fucking the dead tide pools. The lesser species moves in. The fucking Chinook are on free fall. Let's talk about why this is so important. Because I'm going fishing here on the Great Salt Lake. You know, book your trips. Book your trips. At the last salmon. This was sent to me from Washington. So, let's talk fucking why steelhead numbers are so important right now. Because steelhead go to sea on a cycle of 2 years. Some even one. Multiple cycles. So they started to collapse, just like I said, 2016. Chinook started 2016. So this epic collapse is going into extinction mode really fast, and everybody's in denial. You know, it's just like in Oregon. They'll say, oh, come fish or whatever, after they file for federal disaster fucking aid. They declared it a federal disaster, yet they'll say, come fishing. They want it both fucking ways. Mitchell Act, they're scumbags. So let's talk about the fucking steelhead numbers. Steelhead on the Willamette, that's the second most important track one. The season's over. 2,658. What? You heard me right. For the year, 2,658. They should be getting that a day. 10-year mean, 35,000. So then the big, number one, not even close, is the Bonneville. Bonneville's in prime time right now. Prime time. What's the 10-year mean? 350,000. What they come in last year? 188,000. Started to collapse. What are they for the year right now? Less than 30,000. You heard me right, less than 30,000. They should be getting freaking 7, 8, 6,000 a day. They're not even hitting 2,000. This is prime time. It's an epic free fall. So what does that say? It says the Pacific Ocean's getting much fucking. And if you don't believe me, any of you fanny goats in Alaska, fucking Washington, Oregon, fuck, I do the work. I'm not some vlogger that sits around and spins in his fucking basement. I mean, hello, fuck those people. I'm fucking tired of them. I mean, Spin Dogman, the Alice and Alice, fucking, you're fucking, woo-woo. Think about the people that listen to them. I do the fucking work. I'm an activist. I'm no fucking YouTube vlogger. Historic. Look at the dead fucking tide pools. Just walk out of your house and look at them. Hello, the bugs are disappearing. The fucking, all coincidence post-Fukushima. It's like, oh, we're going to go out and raise money for radiation detection. Really? By the way, I got these in, ooh, that smell. What's that smell in Carmel? Oh, it's dead fucking whales. I got these in one of the tide pools when I was documenting them at low tide. Sleeping in Castroville on the Pickers fucking floor. It's a fucking epic free fall catastrophe. So you're gonna measure radiation? This is not radiation. This is not radiation. This is this. It's plutonium. This makes fucking radiation look like a church mouse. And radiation will kill you deader than fuck. The sun can give you cancer from 93 million miles a fucking way. Bringing star-powered Earth. Where'd you sleep last night, Kev? I slept in the dead fucking pines with the sun from Fukushima, Japan. You know, anti-neo Yoko fucking Dada is fucking. Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? No, I'm in heaven, Kevin. Don't you remember? Oh, I remember. Lord, I remember. Way up Furman. I got killed by fucking nuclearism. Killed by peaceful nuclear energy. So, I want to say this to all you people in South Carolina who Westinghouse fucked you, Toshiba fucked you. They lied to you. They were never going to finish these things. They looted billions. This taxpayer, fuck, they were never going to finish these fucking things. They lied to you. They took the money, filed bankruptcy, and ran. You in South Carolina, you politicians, you owe your people. You need to go after these fucking Westinghouse fucking board of directors, Chicago Bridge Board, the Reyes connection. You need to go after these fuckers. Tell me what your money you got fucking had. Illegally, criminal bastards. Fucking, they stole the DOE themselves. Says they fucking aren't even close to what they said they were at Savannah River. Just stealing fucking billions and billions from you. Looting, they lied to you. They never had this. They never intended to finish any of these reactors. They got the money up front. They're scumbags. They don't do any fucking work. So, the numbers are a catastrophe. Catastrophe. The Copper River Chinook can collapse. The fucking Nushak, fuck. I mean, it's prime time. This thing is fucking off a fucking cliff. Last year was starting to fucking be. Now remember, this is on record escapement, record escapement, record escapement. What does that mean? You know what they had forecasted on the fuck for the Chinook for in 2015 for 2017? Over 2 million. They got less than 800,000. You know what they had forecast for the fucking Steelhead 2 years ago on the fucking Willamette? 45,000. They got 2,658. Oh, nothing to see here? Are you fucking nuts? You know, they're talking extinction all over California. They're talking extinction right here in Idaho. So you come fishing, I'll book your fucking trip. Fuck, they're still advertising after they file for federal fucking aid, Mitchell Act, federal disaster, every senator, they're all federal fucking, yet they were telling you come fishing. Why don't you come fishing with me? We go out on the fucking Great Salt Lake. So, I've sold 14 of these, the small ones. The big ones I just left the printer, they'll be done Thursday. Giant steel, there's been 2 of them ordered already, $311 a piece. You can order them, you don't pay them when you got it. But number 1, I've got to raise money for my Europe trip. I'm selling for $3,300. It'll be 1 of 33. I'm gonna do 33. They're about this big. They're fucking nice. They're really big. I want to do 33. I'm doing 311 of these, so let's get this down. This is number 14. I'll be mailing it today. So, this is going to Washington. By the way, she sent me this. I love it. She sent me this last Washingtonian salmon to come home. I like how you guys call it the fucking pasture. You fucking marine biology, phony fuckers. Academia is a fraud. If this doesn't prove it, you know, like a hanger, what history professor. I mean, it's a fucking fraud. It's a club. Come by ya. The only thing you're gonna learn at this fucking university how to fucking parallel park on Hellison Boulevard. These fucking mass murders are gonna kill you. Oh, how nice is they invented ISIS. Went off to Afghanistan to kill the Taliban. Went off to Iraq to get Dick Cheney and friends a big old sack. Went off to Vietnam to kill the Viet Cong. They're still there. He's all gone. Fucking, how nice is they invented narrow ISIS. Sending off for on Balco. What the fuck's the matter with you fucking people? This is the greatest ecological catastrophe in human history. Bar fucking none. Oh, we don't count dead whales. Oh, I do. We don't count dead fucking humans. Oh, from this, I do. You think it's coincidence in 2012 that longevity head this way? Tide pools fucking die. Fucking trees fucking die. Insects go away. The fucking eagles at farming debate. I track them. There's the feds, these assholes right here at the DNR, they're right there, get paid to track them. Get paid. They don't track them. They should be 500 and 800. There was 8 last year. That's my work again. And I'm not on anybody's fucking payroll. I rely on public donations. You know, and I just find a fucking way. It's just coincidence they all fucking died. It's just a coincidence the fucking whole environment's an eco-fucking hell from fucking collapse. It's just a coincidence the Pacific, it's just a coincidence the salmon have fucking collapsed. Just like Kevin Blanch said from day one. Everything I've said from the beginning has been because Cassandra and Hamlet got together and they had a fucking baby. And I see for miles and miles because I do the fucking work. Everything I've said is so accurate of my body. By the way, speaking of fucking South Carolina and these crooks, I hope you shorted Chicago Bridge. Look up all over. Told you shorted by the fucking puts. You seen that stock? That's a safe stock. Yeah. Told you short G's went from 35 to 25. And by the way, the Reagan case will take the rest of their fucking legs out. They're crooks. They're fucking illegal. Why do you think Jeffrey, I'm melting, resign? Him and Barry Antoinette, Barack Obama. I want you to know what you know. March 17, 2011, as they're all flown out of the country to South America to get out of the fucking plume. Well, they ain't out of the plume now. Because I'll tell you what, occupied Japan, we're all occupied fucking now. We're all occupied. These fuckers are your fucking worst nightmare. Yeah, they got a big advertising campaign. I mean, you can't make this shit up. Huge advertising campaign. It's all over the radio and TV. Regional medical centers across the Wasatch, the best heart care. Come to the emergency rooms if you're having any problem, whatever. So, I mean, last year I go to the emergency room. Bleeding, fuck, so much less, so much fucking blood. Plug me up, fuck, says, leave, if it gets worse, come back. Fuck, treating me like shit, didn't even clean up. Thank God I videoed and took pictures. I go back, guy named Hawkins in there. The desk told me he was a doctor, the nurses told me. By the way, one of the nurses had a cancer suck. She was in I was in the LDS bone marrow transplant. I'm a 1%er. I survived a cancer, an AML leukemia that less than 1% survived. All my money done, but I was a millionaire when I got sick. A millionaire, and everybody in this town fucking knows. I forked over almost $1 million to get into the bone marrow transplant. hell did. I was in there off and on for fucking almost 5 years, fighting for my life. I come out, my aortic valve failed. You know, it was a birth defect I was born with from the nuclear crime syndicate. So I go back in there and these fuckers tell me, I mean, my teeth are turning black. I've fucking got so much pain in the fucking side of my head. I'm bleeding. I can feel it in my knee. I says, it's my heart. It's my heart. I think it's giant cell. I think I'm ready to fucking burst. I'm gonna erupt. Fuck whatever. The star says, I'll run a test. I got the results because I demanded they give them to me, and I saw him really high LA. He come out, we run, there's nothing wrong with you. I can't give you any payment. I says, fucking payment? What the fuck are you talking about? I never asked for no payment. He's like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. Go see your dentist. Okay. Really? That's what he told me. I was exactly to it. I even told him what I had, and I was exactly right. Fucking leave. A few months later, boom, collapse. Almost died. Fucking into the fucking ER at McKD. They had me diagnosed so fast, make your head. Diagnosed me in less than 2 minutes. Emergency open heart fucking surgery. Anybody's been through that fucking nightmare? Whoa. So back to the salmon. I mean, you go to now. This is getting much worse. This is the greatest. I mean, you fairy tale fuckers, the cancer rate's off a hook. This is probably gonna kill you. You're gonna measure for radiation? This Livermore agrees. I'm the guy that came up with Fukushima. It's a gas. It's a synergistic effect that fucking big fish eat little. It broke the luminescence. It killed the fucking place. I said it from day one. They're gonna lie, little guys. They're gonna fucking cover up to protect the nuclear industry. They're gonna cover up John Holdren, fucking the eugenist is gonna run the fucking show. They're gonna cover up, including fucking Trump. Please allow me to introduce myself. A B, that scumbag. I guess I made fucking media all over Japan, from what I understand. Like, we've been notified that today. Says you're all over the media over there. I guess I was even on HNK. I spent the whole thing with HNK. Photographs of him. Sadako Suzuki's own nephew handed me this at the event. The liaison from Japan reached in, he says, Kevin Blanch, I knew you'd be here. Reached in, he says, this is a gift from the people of Japan. And then he says, no, wait a minute, let's have Saduko's nephew hand it to you. They took all kinds of photos, and that's what showed up in Japan as him handing me this. Kevin Blanch, the Fukushima activist. Kevin Blanch, the anti-nuclear activist. Kevin Blanch, made in Japan. We're all made in Japan now. All of us. Fucking occupied Japan? Oh, we're all fucking occupied. Japan didn't do this. The United States Department of Energy did it, and they fucking tried to clean it up and couldn't. They just go on and on and on and on and on and on. It's getting much fucking worse. It's killing the ecosystem. It's Fukushima. Livermore themselves took waste from Fukushima, collided it together, and the bottom of the pyramid has 4 fucking in the periodic table. They quartered them. I says, fuck you, that's mine. I'm the guy who originally come up with it. I hypothesis. I did the fucking work. That's a great PhD. You hypothesis. It's going to give you leukemia. It's going to leukemia. They're going to lie. It's going to release a gas. It's going to break the luminescence. It's going to break the chain. It's going to kill the plankton. It's going to kill the sardines and anchovies and the chain. It's your pseudo-de facto biology, your pseudo-facto theology. It's your biology. It's your sociology. It's the ecology, stupid. And it broke it. You don't think you're part of the sea, for we come for the sea. I fight for her, she fights for me. I'm a survivor, Sudoku. What a gift, huh? What a gift. So, go fishing. Go fishing on the ground. Fuck, I got one. Fuck, I got one. Really, man. Let's just take a picture. Fuck, walk on the ocean, step on the shore. Fuck, some pictures. Fuck you, Weaver State, you fucking rats. Your science department, you writers, Mary Dixon, fucking all these guys, these grandstanders on there can kiss my, you're frauds. You just got exposed. You're frauds. University of Utah's frauds. PBS is frauds. Fucking BYU, frauds. KSL, I mean, you've been exposed what you are. Who's pulling your strings? The military-industrialized complex. Here, feed the fainting goats. They become masters. Fox News, Alex Jones, fucking RT, fucking HNK, fucking all of them, CBS, NBC, ABC, have become masters at herding fainting goats. Here, come by your fucking bunkers. It's fucking outrageous. Bowing to fucking, they bow to their advertisers. They're fucking fear porn. This is the fucking biggest reality in human history. My work is fucking so historic, so the big ones will be done. I need to raise money. The first one, the number one of one. Van Stills ordered one. She gets number 2. And there's been 3 ordered. Number 1, $3,311. You can round it off 33. Anything around that neighborhood, 1 of 33, you'll get it. I mean, that'd be the best investment you ever fucking made. Like shorting Chicago Bridge, like buying fucking apples, like all these things that I did, but something happened on the way to that place. They threw an American nuclearism flag in my face. So mail it in, motherfuckers, mail it in. Mail in your fucking lie. So the tea club, the exclusive tea club, the exclusive tea club. Come to the exclusive tea club. Look, Ma, no hands. So they come to the exclusive tea club and catch salmon. I called them. Their season starts at 15. They only count fish over 30 pounds. Today's what? Today's what? Guess how many they caught? Guess how many for the year? Guess how many? Guess how many they caught for the year last year? 0. It's a catastrophe. The fucking steelhead tell the fuck they're the canary. This is going to get much. This is going to get so fucking ugly. So fucking already has. And if you don't believe me, walk out. You fanny goats in California and Oregon and Washington, fucking BC, British Columbia. Fucking get off your fucking ass. Get out of your fucking trailer park. Get out of your fucking mama's fucking basement. Go there and fucking look at the tide pools. They're deader than fuck. You might find a few here and there, but there's... Go in Alaska. Look at the fucking tide pool. What about all the mirrors direction? You're in denial. Fucking sockeye run? Fuck. And you think that's good? That ain't good. It's a catastrophe. It's an epic, the Great Pacific Genocide. Kevin Blanch. I fight back. I survived the cancer at less than 1% survival. Less than 1. How'd you do it, Kev? How'd you do it? Simple. Simple. I'm in the 1% study. They interview me all the time. I get interviewed by John Hopkins once a month. How'd you do it? Fight back against the fuckers that fucking tried to kill me. You want to fight? Run for the cure, run for the cure. The very fucking people that sponsor those. John Huntsman, fucking luxury, good of fucking death. Huntsman Chemical, Huntsman give you fucking cancer, extract all your money, fucking. Top of LDS, he's safe. You want to go to the hotel and eat good food and die? Go ahead, go to Huntsman. You want to fucking live and fight? You come here. Fucking from fucking Denmark. That's who runs it. It's Danish philosophy medicine up there. I walked out. Stand tuned. It's not the idea to paint the soup can, but then you gotta paint the fucking soup can. Stand tuned.